Hello everyone, how was your day? I hope you are all in good condition. Okay, I have some question for you guys. Do you often find difficult to say no to others? Or do you often find that you should always responsible to other people's feelings? Or you always disagree with other people? You always agree, I'm sorry, you always agree with people, but deep down in your heart, you disagree with them? Or do you ever think that you are keep putting up with people who are disrespectful and abusive to you, so it can make you powerless and you can change anything? If you answer yes to all of my questions, it may be because you don't have clear boundaries. So, setting boundaries is a part of self-care that can lead us to achieve a mentally healthy life. Boundaries protect our personal self by setting a clear line between what is me and what is not me. So we can define our true self without being controlled by other people. I'm Safira, and on my speech today, I'm going to talk about achieve a mentally healthy life by setting boundaries. First, what is boundaries? Boundaries are a limit between us and other people and other things around us about something that we can tolerate and not tolerate. According to Clintis 2017, our boundaries might be rigid, loose, somewhere in between, or even non-existent. A complete lack of boundaries may indicate that we don't have strong identity or we are enmeshed with other people. Maybe you ever heard a proverb that says, good fences, good fences make good neighbors. So like fences, boundaries are something that protect us from neighbors, which means here other people. And then we go to the next point. Okay, maybe you may think that boundaries is is a psychological or emotional, but boundaries is also physical. Physical boundaries can involve of our body, our personal space, and privacy. So I will take my example here. So I don't like when other people touch my head without my permission, or when people touch me inappropriately, and I will get mad because of that. Other than that, I will get angry when there are other people looking through my personal files or my phone. And that's the example of boundaries. And what is your boundaries? What is your physical boundaries? And then there is emotional emotional boundaries or psychological boundaries. So emotional boundaries separating our feelings from others' feelings. For instance, we are not responsible for others' feelings and we do not have to always please them because each person is responsible for their own feelings. And why? And you maybe asking why boundaries is important. So according to Henry Cloud, that stated in his book, there are two functions of boundaries. First is boundaries define us. So what it means? Boundaries show what we are and we are not, what we agree and what we disagree, what we love and what we hate. And the second one is boundaries protect us. Boundaries can protect us from um, bad things. Boundaries keep good things in and bad things out. When we don't have clear limits, we can expose ourselves to unhealthy and destructive influences and people. And there are some tips to set boundaries. First is mm, we can define ourselves. Maybe it seems like an easy thing to setting boundaries, but sometimes to setting boundaries there are some challenges. Like we are afraid to be considered bad or mean by others, and then we afraid to consider too rigid, or even we afraid of conflict. But the first thing we should do is define ourselves. We can knowing and we can um, know what we want and what we need, so we can set boundaries that suits with ourselves. And the second thing is assertive communication. Assertive communication is communication um, that we can communicate what we want to others in a firm manner without offending them, but the message what we want to convey can be conveyed properly. Yeah, maybe um, we feel like that um, in conclusion, it is important for us to have boundaries so that other people will treat us with respect, and we can also respect others more within the boundaries. If we pay too much attention to others and put our needs between above their need, at the end we just neglect ourselves and we can hurt our feelings. So you can choose. You will continue to live under people's feelings, other people control, or you define your life by setting your boundaries. You determine your own life, don't let someone else take over the wheel. Setting clear boundaries is a part of self-care that can lead us to achieve a mentally healthy life. I will close my speech with one quote from Henry Cloud. He said that you get what you tolerate. This is my end of my speech. Thank you very much for your attention and see you.